And joining me live now on the back of that big world exclusive with Victor Gao, just hours after Nancy Pelosi has left, the nuclear word being used, and very, very crucially, the fact that the reunification effort of Taiwan by China will now be hugely accelerated and will happen in a much more aggressive manner. Victor Gao speaking first and exclusive to India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan. Geeta, mincing no words, Victor Gao saying that Nancy Pelosi has ruined relations between the United States and China, and also that the reunification, whether by military or other means, is most definitely going to happen in the next few years. Alarming statement there from Victor Gao.
Well, that's right, Shiv. One of the biggest statements coming in from Beijing, wherein China determined, not only with regards to reunification of Taiwan with mainland China, but Shiv, it's the nuclear alarm that certainly will raise concerns internationally. Now, United States of America can have all the warships at once, but when it comes to really acting on any action by China, they will have to think twice over, because the Chinese now are talking in terms of being nuclear and giving the example of Russia, that if Russia is nuclear, China is a bigger nuclear power, and so the United States of America should tread carefully. So important statement coming in, also mentioning that there are going to be repercussions, military repercussions, as also economic, which means that there is a lot in the coming days that we'll see between Taiwan and China play out in the Indo-Pacific region, in those waters, when it comes to the military activities, as also we could see some forward movement, not just military exercises, some forward movement on how they intend to reunify, so-called reunification of Taiwan with mainland China.
Gaurav, what are you making of what Victor Gao has just said in this interview to Geeta? Because anyone who's been looking for some immediate action, the fact that the military ball is now in China's court after the issuance of all those threats with those military drills taking place during Nancy Pelosi's visit, he says, don't be so impatient, wait and watch. We have time on our side, we have the region on our side, and we will act. He's basically saying, wait and watch.
Shiv, this is a threat. It's a huge threat, but it is a huge loss of face for Chinese President Xi Jinping. Here is a man who's actually seeing himself as a global leader, a country that hopes to challenge the United States of America as a superpower in the next 20 to 30 years. And here is Nancy Pelosi, who actually visits Taiwan after China had warned United States, don't play with fire, you'll burn your hands or you'll burn yourself with it. Now, despite words like this, she visited. So Xi Jinping does look rather, painted in a corner. That's point one. Point two, the nuclear Armageddon threat is actually a threat to other European countries or other countries to back off and not get involved. Three, the response has already started. The cyber attacks have started. Economic sanctions are being put in place, and the threat that reunification will happen sooner than was earlier anticipated. So that 2049 threat no longer stands. It may be accelerated to the next 18 to 24 months. At the moment Xi Jinping gets re-elected for an unprecedented third term, they will accelerate. It's for the world to wake up and see what effective countermeasures, if at all, the world intends to take.
You know, Geeta, this is actually true because, in terms of perceptions, China is looking a little silly, to use a simple word here, because after all that, very, very high voltage threat, this aura of, ominous retaliatory action that China had threatened, nothing has happened immediately. That may be an oversimplification of expecting something immediate, but obviously, the words of Victor Gao should also be seen in the context of China basically trying to save a little bit of perceptional face and say, ye khel khatam nahi hua hai, abhi shuru hua hai. That's what he's saying.
Well, absolutely, Shiv. The fact that Victor Gao has said that China is nuclear and that United States of America should beware certainly is not just a threat to Taiwan, it is to the entire region. Now, whether if US is going to come to Taiwan's rescue is something we'll have to see, because I will hold myself back into saying that China has been rather silly or only bluff and bluster. cannot be the case, because in all other matters, they have not walked the talk. But Taiwan, Shiv, you and I have been covering this for years, is a red line. It is an area of great sensitivity, to the extent that US also is very careful when it comes to the issue of Taiwan. Look at the statements that have come from DC. Pelosi lands in Taiwan, and Washington, D.C. says, well, it's an unofficial visit. She does not represent the U.S. government. She represents the House. She's just Speaker of the House. Third highest ranking government official meeting President of Taiwan as the Speaker can no longer be looked into as an unofficial visit. That's what China thinks. And so we'll have to wait and see how China is going to react to this. There certainly is going to be reaction. Movement, mobilization has begun. Even if it is threatening. Look, today the statement by PLA, Shiv, they said that they're going to block the ports and shipping lanes of Taiwan. That's serious.